Alright, we're heading into the second map. It is TM. It is LiiLD.C again in yellow, this time in the bottom left spawn position, and Grubby again in red, this time in the top left spawn position. And both of them starting with their altars first. So most likely we're again going to see Blade Master against Demon Hunter, and LiiLD.C. This time he's queuing up a lot of wisps, so it looks like we're gonna see no Ancient of War creep early on here, and most likely this time just an instant Huntress build order by him instead of the transition out of the Ancient of War creep into Huntresses. Of course, on TM that approach is a lot more common than it is on Secret Valley. Grubby with the regularly timed barracks again will again keep an eye on when he's gonna build his shop here. Altar is about to finish, and yeah, as I said, expecting BM here, expecting DH on the other side of the map, or at least at the bottom of the map. Yeah, and this is DH against Blade Master. Scout of LiiLD.C is heading out. Scout of Grubby is heading out. And LiiLD.C is still just saving up resources. Perhaps at 160 lumber he's gonna build the Ancient of War and the Huntress Hall. And PN here, interestingly, is not scouting for the main bases as it appears. Looks like he's heading here. And then probably he's just gonna wanna go ahead and scout all of the the Ancient of War positions one by one. So I guess he might turn around any second now, seeing that there's no Ancient of War here. Yeah, that's what he's doing, and he could either go ahead and scout here the unlikely creep camp to be taken by LiiLD.C, or just here, and then towards the top we'll find out about it. Hunter's Hall, Ancient of War, and Moonwell number 2 are coming. The base is closed here as far as I can tell. DH is heading towards the top. Of course, he has nothing else to do but harass here, so he might as well make the best out of that. And Grubby, finding out there's no Ancient of War here, only has one spot left to check, and this is here, and there's no Ancient of War there as well. He's seen the scout already of LiiLD.C, so he already knows that LiiLD.C is not here and that he is probably in the bottom left if Grubby's got his scouting, his timing down properly. He sees the DH right now. He's only killed one Null Warden here, really wants to make sure not to get harassed. Wisp is now floating in and sees that there is nothing happening here anymore. BM just going for, or just trying to get a little bit of creeping done without being found. Second grunt is out right now, so perhaps the grunts will go here. The Blade Master continues creeping here. The Demon Hunter might find him though. Grubby started his tech, but not before building his shop. He's gonna abandon this creep camp. He's gonna start this creep camp. Demon Hunter, they're playing the mind games here. Grubby could actually finish this one off because he's got mana for another backstab, but he wants to wait here, and he's getting it without using another Windwalk. The Demon Hunter is quick to use the mana burn here. Blade Master is not gonna have another Windwalk remaining, and now he's not. I'm not sure if he can really wait here just until it's 19 o'clock for the boots. He's buying the dust away though and attacking the Demon Hunter, but there's not really anything that Grubby can do to stay around here because the first hunt has joined as well. He is low HP and he doesn't have heal salves and he doesn't have mana. So yeah, tech started on both sides. Grubby is a tiny bit ahead. The burrow coming right now, interestingly placed here. Very defensive towards the right hand side of Grubby's base, where he's also walking right now, perhaps afraid of some ancient protectors here, which he confirms right now that is nothing to be worried about. Grubby did actually not get the boots of speed here. LiiLD.C did, so Grubby might run into a bit of trouble here with those hunts still roaming around. Now the heal salve being used here, speed score being used. Is the base should be open here. And can he block the DH out? The DH doesn't even dare going in because he's pretty low on HP on his own and against the burrows and the Blade Master. Looks like he doesn't feel like losing his DH here.
Work complete.
So no XP on the DH. Blade Master with a little bit of XP. One Null Warden here, this green camp, and this guy. And Ancient of Wonders coming as well for LiiLD.C. So let's see if this time he's going to transition into Ancients of Lore again, or if it's going to be, you know, surprising Ancients of Wind. But yeah, as I guess the word surprising already implies, Ancients of Lore are to be expected here. Grubby once again adding a Beast Tree at first, adding the Shadow Hunter as well. And on Grubby's side, yeah, we'll see if he's gonna try to go for the same approach again here, fighting heavy in the mid game and getting an advantage before the Night Elf player gets up to, yes, it is double Beast Tree again. Or no, it is not. So it looks like he changed his mind here just on the spot. It is not double Beast Tree again. This time it is a more late game oriented approach, and for LiiLD.C it is the double Ancient of Lore approach. So we're gonna see a bunch of Dryads here. We're gonna see, let's this time also keep an eye on the Tree of Ages here and see when it's going to take up to a Tree of Eternity, because last time he really took his time there. I was expecting him to, as a round attempt, to try and apply a lot of pressure with a bunch of Dryads, but that really didn't work out all too well, and he could have just tagged a lot earlier and get up to his bears a lot earlier, and I think that would have been very much to his own benefit. The shop is probably going to be killed, while the Panda second and the Demon Hunter are chasing after this grunt, but the SH is there with the Speed Scroll, saving it momentarily. The Sheep is blocking here, and that is providing a lot of time for this DH to get another mana burn in. The Spirit Lodge is probably... is it gonna come up? Well, we'll find out. The shop has fallen. The Spirit Lodge has been voluntarily cancelled by Grubby. And the mover here is probably going to fall as well. I think, could he move in between this gap with some Wisps and Repair? I'm not quite sure. Panda is being staffed back. A little bit of a risk, but then again, there's no Ensnare available here yet. And unless he gets surrounded against the buildings, the Panda should be fine. And yeah, the mover here has gone down as well. So Grubby starts doing some significant damage. The SH is going to start creeping here. First Raider is out, and now he's adding... hold that thought. Yes, this time he's actually adding the second Beast Tree, so switching up the strategy, switching back basically to the strat that he played on Secret Valley. Then again, this time the lack of sustainability should backfire a lot harder at him, because while the Raiders on Secret Valley, that's some interesting creeping that he's doing here. While the Raiders on Secret Valley that take a lot of damage very quickly were able to abuse the heal fountains extremely efficiently, he's not gonna have this means of healing here this time, and therefore every Raider that he saves is going to have to be healed manually with heal salves, and that's gonna cost him a lot. And it also means that he has to invest time and cannot just keep fighting while, you know, not having his heroes around to heal the units actually back up. So this is a very different game from Secret Valley. But again, LiiLD.C staying on tier 2 for a long time, getting a lot of Dryads here. This time with a Panda as well instead of the Beastmaster. But this time the Shadow Hunter also gets a lot of leveling done early on. BM 2.5 SH, or both almost 2.5 SH got the mantle here. And the big heal potion. BM with the Boots of Speed in the meantime as well. DH does have a heal potion. Both of the Night Elf heroes do have Boots of Speed. One of them must have dropped here. The ones that the Panda is wearing right now. And yeah, the Blade Master is coming in for the creep check. This is the Tome Troll. Let's see who's getting that and who's getting the Tome. Grubby steals the Tome of Knowledge, revealing himself though here, and therefore dust is used immediately by LiiLD.C. The Raiders are storming in from both sides. Actually, first heal scroll is coming in. Grubby, does he have a heal scroll? He's got one. The Blade Master didn't pick up another one. The first Raider is falling. The Agent of War is also going to help a great deal against these Raiders, and this position, even though the one creep is still around and attacks the Agent of War, seems to be decent for LiiLD.C, and Grubby is about to lose, no, not lose, but at least he's gonna have to pull out of the fight. Another Raider, another Dryad is falling as well, though the Shadow Hunter has to fall back as well. I'm not really sure why this Ancient of War is running instead of fighting. Another Dryad is being picked off here, and once again Grubby is trying to push through here, but he's really lacking healing right now, and the Panda is also being quite painful here towards him. Both of his heroes still level 2, and the Shadow Hunter in trouble right now, but he's got the big heal potion, he uses it. The Panda is the target right now. The Demon Hunter could still pass a heal potion, but he decides to use the Staff of Preservation instead, and it is Grubby who's gotta get going here. The Blade Master is trying to get the last hit. He does so. He gets the item as well, which is the Belt of Giant Strength. Speed Scroll. Does he have Dispel available? Yes, he does, and he can slow down the Blade Master, and he's gonna be forced to Townball here. I'm assuming, and it's exactly the case. Ensnared, not going on to the Demon Hunter, and therefore he's getting the mana burn off, and totally cancels out the heal staff of DSH, the Clarity of DSH, and gets him down to 0 mana again. Another Raider also falls, which was out of the Townball Rage. So in the end, this fight again shifted pretty clearly into LiiLD.C's favor here. Grubby, let's see, what does he have remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4 Raiders. Well, I wouldn't say very clearly into LiiLD.C's favor, but you know, it is Grubby who wants to make this these early fights really work in his favor. So even somewhat fair trades are you know, in favor of LiiLD.C here. But he's you know, he's got the main creep and another one of the Ogre Warriors of this camp. What did he find here? Well, whatever he found, he used already. Panda soon to be level 3, he really wants to have that, and now he's going tier 3. I'm not really a fan of LiiLD.C waiting with his tier 3 tech for such a long time. Is he really afraid of just falling to a pressure of Grubby if he didn't build a lot of Dryads as early on? I can't really agree with that if that's the mindset of LiiLD.C, because he's got the Moonwells, he's got the shop here. You know, he's got his base defense, which he can just rely upon until he gets up to tier 3. Blade Master roaming around here, but he doesn't have a Windwalk, so yeah, that's not really all too threatening for the Night Death army. 1-0 upgrades, by the way, on the Dryads. 0-0 this time on Grubby's units, who is just getting his Warmer right now, and this time he is not going to be confident enough to try and finish the game off with only double beastry. He's trying to go for the Spirit Lodge here. He's trying to go for the tech switch. The SH creeping ahead. Tome of Strength and the Robe of the Magi is what he must have found here. Meantime, he's really taking a lot of damage on his Panda here over and over again while creeping. Willing to use the potion here. Boots of Kel'Thalas for the DH. Going to be quite happy with that item drop. Closing in on level 4. I think this was an Ancient War finish, so he's really got those down. And in the meantime, Grubby also continues creeping. So both of them just playing their own game for now. Grubby seems to not feel like, for the time being at least, seeking those mid-game fights anymore. Does want to get some XP onto his own units, onto his own heroes. Does want to get the walkers into play before getting into big fights again. LiiLD.C also, let's just quickly check here. Grubby has had some scouting here previously, as it seems. LiiLD.C also doesn't necessarily desperately want to take a fight, as it seems, before reaching tier 3. But just as I say it, he's getting aggressive again. Maybe looking for a creep check. The PN here is he? Wow, okay, he's going for the expansion here. So I was just thinking, why would he still go for so many raiders? But then again, maybe he's at first gonna go for a bit of hit and run stuff with an expansion after or behind it. But that expansion, those expansion plans were definitely delayed. So LiiLD.C with the right senses here, and he's attacking the lodge here immediately. Level 3 on the Panda. Grubby doesn't have a lot of mana on his SH currently. Does have 2 heal scrolls. The Staff of Silence is going to be okay against the mana burn, I guess, and against the Breath of Fire, which, yeah, speaking of that, it's doing quite a bit of damage over time here. Kodo is spawning here, is being slowed down immediately though, and yeah, that one is going to be picked off. That is not good news for Grubby, especially if he decides to buy a TP here and fight, and that's exactly what he's doing, townpalling back. But LiiLD.C seems to be satisfied with the damage he's done here. Wow, this burrow surviving, but still very much worth it for LiiLD.C. I would claim the Kodo has fallen here, a bunch of buildings have fallen for Grubby, everything's burning, And LiiLD.C also killed or prevented the expansion from even being built, bringing a Wisp here towards the right hand side. The downside for LiiLD.C is that Grubby got a lot of creeping done in the meantime though. The SH is level 4 already, Blademaster is level 4, whereas LiiLD.C only is on level 3.5 and 4. But he's this time going to pretty comfortably, as it seems, going to get up to a big, you know, comfortable army, which he's gonna be able to work with most likely against the Orc army, which with this number of raiders against or by the time there are a few bears out, is gonna find itself into in a pretty difficult position, actually taking a straight up fight, because yeah, these guys, they aren't really gonna do all too much against Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and the damage output of the bears, unless he miraculously gets them into a good position against the Dryades, where they are at the same time not exposed to the Breath of Fire and the bears damage output. So yeah, 61 supply currently for LiiLD.C. Grubby still sitting at 50. He's added 2 Kodos by now. He didn't add anything else from the Spirit Lodge thus far. And we've already seen him research Adept for those walkers. But other than that, yeah, we're not even close to like a decent number of walkers. You know, he wants to have Spirit Link here. He wants to be able to dispel the Roar and Rejuvenations, and he's gonna need a bit of Dispel to do so. The Wisps are being found here. I guess LiiLD.C may have had those prepared to either support him with some Ancient Protectors, which I don't think was the first idea, but to deal with the walkers, but they aren't even around yet. So of course Grubby, you know, since he's under 50, he's not going to produce any walkers right now. And for the time being, I don't think that Grubby is going to do well in trying to take a straight up fight, so I guess that's not going to be his plan. Instead, he decides to go for an attack with those raiders, sniping off 1 free Dryads, sniping off 1 free Moonbird. The TP is actually on both heroes, did I see this correctly? No, only on the Shadow Hunter, and he uses it. So yeah, that's 1 Moonbird, 1 Dryad for 1 TP. That's not really greatly favorable for any side. I'm a little bit surprised on how passive LiiLD.C is going about this, because he's been in low upkeep for a long time, whereas Grubby is still sitting at only 50 supply. Then again, LiiLD.C doesn't really gain any disadvantage from waiting too long here. It's not like Grubby is saving up tons of resources to you know, to eventually just outnumber him. Grubby is at 50 supply and he only has 450 gold at the moment. LiiLD.C is, yeah, doing fine here, apparently just catching up in terms of XP. Gem of Health is, yeah, pretty nice, I guess. With these ensnares that Grubby's got available, maybe Hero Focus could become an option someday. Looks like Grubby is going to free up another expansion here. Luckily for him, LiiLD.C decides to go to the bottom here to continue creeping instead of towards the right hand side as well, because that would not have been good news for Grubby. What does he have on the Shadow Hunter here? Speed Scroll and a new TP. Okay, he would have been fine anyway, but it would have been time wasted. Some building is going up here. Great Hall by Grubby, Moonwall by LiiLD.C. Does anyone see the building of the other player? The answer is no. Grubby sees the army of LiiLD.C though, found the Flute of Accuracy as well, so that's going to suit his Dryads just fine, and he still has quite a large number of those. Grubby finding a Ring of Regeneration here. Blademaster is going to be gladly picking that one up. He's got plenty of mana on the SH as well, especially with the mana potion. But he's probably wants to creep level 5 before using a heal wave here to get his army back into shape. Surprisingly enough, he didn't stay away with the Blademaster here, but it's still going to be enough. Wow. It actually isn't, since he brought the Blademaster back a second time. I think he got too greedy here. Little mistake by Grubby. I'm pretty sure he expected to be level 5 after this little green one, but he wasn't. LiiLD.C adding an Ancient Protector here, which is going to be cancelled, but at the same time, he should be able to get such a lot of damage down on the Grubby's main base. Looks like Grubby feels totally uncomfortable with a fight here, so he's gonna run away with these Kodos and hope to trade Town Portals here, and that's exactly what he's doing. Grubby didn't really... Okay, he got the shot with the Blade Master previously, he got one Moonwell here, and he lost the Raider in return. And wow, what happened here? Oh, LiiLD.C had his Demon Hunter somewhere here when he Town Portal, I think, and therefore a lot of his units are getting trapped in the Orc space right now, and that's a bunch of free kills that LiiLD.C doesn't really want to give to Grubby. And LiiLD.C is still gonna be up army-wise, but there was no reason for him to give those units to Grubby, and it looks like both of them are going to fall before the ensnares wear off. Grubby is heavily supply blocked though, and he's lost the majority of his peons. One is harvesting lumber here, 3 are harvesting gold, but that's it, and he's, as I said, supply blocked. He cannot even reproduce peons, so he has to clearly win this fight, and I think despite the large number of raiders that he's got here, I'm not really sure if he's got the damage output to really work against a Demon Hunter who's level 5 already, and the Panda who can use the level 2 Breath of Fire against his units here. We can see that the 2 raiders, one of them has eaten, the other one not yet. The Blade Master has to fall back. He's gonna have to try to get to the shop. The Shadow Hunter uses a mana potion, but too late. He's not able to keep his Blade Master alive here. He does have the supply available again because he lost like everything already. Panda level 5 as well, Demon Hunter level 5.5, and Grubby is, yeah, clearly losing the fight here as the Pierce Town Portal used to the expansion, which has finished here in the meantime. And what does Grubby really have to threaten LiiLD.C at the moment? So LiiLD.C, despite losing 2 bears and I think 1 hunt, was it 1 hunt before, to Grubby for free, still clearly coming out on top of this fight. The altar gets killed. The peons, he's got 2 of them, which are gonna fall eventually if these burrows get taken down. And he took down the Moonwell. But yeah, Grubby, a Shadow Hunter, 2 Kodos, and 1 Raider, I'm afraid, might not do it against a Demon Hunter who is threatening to arrive at level 6 here. Is he gonna continue to attack here, or is he just gonna go for the expansion over here, kill more peons? Grubby is evacuating a peon already in anticipation of that, but did he? Ah, okay, he's just gonna build a burrow here. Still supply blocked. I was thinking if he already ordered a Great Hall either here or here, because he has no lumber to get a Great Hall anytime soon. Shadow Hunter scouts down here, but how is he supposed to come back from this? He's got no supply to get the Blade Master back. He's got no altar to get the Blade Master back, even if he gets that burrow up. Well, luckily for him, he's gonna lose stuff right now, so he's gonna have to supply. But even if he gets a burrow back, he doesn't have the lumber to get the Blade Master back anytime soon, either from the tavern or to build the altar and then get him from that altar. But yeah, both the Kodos have fallen. The Raider is gonna fall as well. The Shadow Hunter, I imagine, yeah, he still can Town Portal, so at least Grubby's got that one, right? 12 supply, 9 supply, with this Raider dying against 34 for LiiLD.C, who's ran out of gold income as well, but it's not like he's ever gonna lose this army. So yeah, okay, he can sell a lot of items actually, but still has only 95 lumber. But he actually decides to buy a Staff of Teleportation here, try maybe to distract his opponent a little bit, to maybe force him back here and win some more time for maybe another expansion to come up at some point. But that's not gonna happen. This one's gonna be killed. The Ancient of War even sees some peons marching here. The gold mine here has ran out as well, so... And the Demon Hunter's level 6. And GG, yeah, by Grubby. So this time LiiLD.C in the phase after reaching tier 2 did decently, which is better than he did on Secret Valley after getting a couple of Dryads and fighting against a couple of Grubby's Raiders. And both of them kinda went for a late tech switch. LiiLD.C for the Bears, Grubby for the Walkers, which never really came into play. Did he ever build a Walker? I don't think so. And therefore, yeah, for Grubby, those resources were completely wasted. But I think the bigger issue was that he invested a lot into those mass raiders and he stayed very passively with them, which on the one hand isn't good because raiders are like the worst units to creep in the game. And on the other hand, you know, once LiiLD.C got up to Bears, a lot of raiders are like the most useless unit to have in a fight in terms of damage output and tanking stuff. All they do is basically support by throwing and snares. So against Bears, you don't really need more than like 3 raiders or so. And you want to invest your supply and your resources into different, more valuable units in those straight up fights. And if, well, the way it went, if Grubby goes for such a large number of raiders, then he really has to get into a good position into a hit and run kind of game, which I think may have been the plan here by him, because he was trying to go for that expansion, but LiiLD.C was able to get the PN on the way the first time and then get some damage done against the economy of Grubby, you know, kill some burrows and then TP out. And that didn't really help Grubby along at all. And then in the big fight when Grubby was still down supply-wise because he lost pretty much more than he actually gained with his hit and runs, despite starting the fight quite horribly with leaving the units behind at the town portal, LiiLD.C still clearly won it, and afterwards, you know, Grubby tried to come back, but with like 2 units. What are you supposed to do? Therefore, it's 1-1, and therefore we're gonna go on to what I think is perhaps the best map for Orc against Night Elf, which is Echo Isles.